Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is my second video on bearings. In the last video, we have discussed about functions of bearings, basic terms related to bearings. Then we have seen how the bearing characteristic number helps in designing bearings so that it operates in stable hydrodynamic region. And at the end, we have seen the requirements for bearing hydrodynamic lubrication. This video is about bearing metals which are used to manufacture bearings, and at the end we will see different layers which are there on the bearing shell and their importance. So let's begin with this video. Bearing metals mostly depend upon the engine rating. Engine rating means the gas pressure, the engine speed or the stock bore ratio. This rating influences the magnitude of specified load on the bearing, and so they help in making correct choice for the bearing metal. Mostly two types of bearing metals are used in the industry. One is tin based white metal alloy and other is tin aluminum alloy. So let's see one by one these two metal alloys. Tin based white metal alloy is an alloy with minimum 80% 88% tin, and rest alloy composition is antimony, copper, cadmium and small amount of other elements that are added to improve the fineness of grain structure and homogeneity during solidification process. This is important for load carrying and sliding property of the alloy. Antimony forms hard cubes to withstand loads of journal, and it tends to float and segregate during casting. Copper holds antimony in evenly dispersed form pattern and solidifies first. Lead content in this alloy composition is an impurity. As the fatigue strength deteriorates with increase with lead content should not increase 0.2% of the cast alloy composition. So this is about tin based metal alloy. Now the other is tin aluminum alloy, which has a composition of 40% tin. Tin aluminum is a composition of aluminum and tin, where tin is trapped in three-dimensional mesh of aluminum. The sliding property of this composition are very similar to those of tin-based white metal, but the dynamic loading capacity of the material is higher than tin-based white metal at similar working temperatures. This is due to ideal combination of tin and aluminum, where tin provides good embeddability and sliding properties, while the aluminum mesh function as effective load absorber. This was about tin aluminum alloy. So these are the two metals which are used in manufacturing metals. Now we will see different layers which are there on the bearing shells. So most commonly used bearing are the trimetal bearings, which have three main layers on top of steel backing shells. So let's see all the layers one by one. First is the steel backing, the bottom layer, which is the steel backing of the shell. Lining is directly bonded to the steel backing. Shell gives bearing its form and closely mates with the bearing housing so that the hoop stresses are formed in the steel shell when the bearing is tightened due to nip or the crush. This is the crush. This that is the extended part of the bearing shell above the bearing housing. These stresses hold the bearing in place and stops the bearing from rotation, which could block off the oil supply or feed holes. If the bearing rotates, it can block the feed hole or the oil supply. So these are very important in keeping the bearing in a particular place or in a fixed place. Second layer is lining. This is basically bearing running surface. It can either be aluminium or tin or lead bronze, with both metals having greater fatigue strength. The lining is directly bonded to steel backing. The lining is between 0.5 to 2 mm thick, depending upon the size of the bearing. Then the third layer is interlay. This is 5 micrometer layer of nickel beneath the overlay layer. This reduces tendency of overlay to be corroded. MAN BMW uses silver as a suitable interlay. Now fourth is overlay. An overlay layer is a thin galvanic coating mainly of lead, copper and tin, which is applied directly onto the white metal or via a thin galvanically applied intermediate layer of either silver or nickel onto the tin aluminum sliding surface of the bearing. The overlayer is a soft, ductile coating. Its main objective is to ensure good embeddability and conformity between the bearing sliding surface and the pin surface geometry. The dirt will penetrate into the overlayer rather than sketching the shafts. Slight misalignment is absorbed by bearing wear. This property increases the bearing life and reduces the wear rate. Overlay is mainly used in crosshead bearing designs. So this is applied by galvanic process either directly onto the white metal or onto the intermediate layer, which is either of nickel or silver. Now the last is flash layer. It is 100% tin layer which is applied galvanically. Tin is mostly used in MAN BMW engines. The thickness of this layer is only few micrometer. The coating of tin flash is applied all over and functions primarily to prevent corrosion or oxidation of the bearing. That is when engine is stopped or prior installation. The tin flash also functions as dry lubricant when new bearings are installed and when crankshaft is turned. So this prevents corrosion of the bearing when bearing is not functioning, or the bearing is in the engine is in stop condition. So that's all, friend. uh, Next video will be on the continuation on bearing shells. So keep watching, have fun. Thank you.